Rex Ryan comes on with us. Nice enough to join us. Rex, Michael, and Don, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
We're doing all right. Give us your take on your team. How do you feel going into the season?
Oh, man, I'm excited about it. I think our entire football team's, we're going to be ready to go. And regardless of who we're playing, we're excited to, get this thing started for real in front of our fans. And, the fact that it's the Raiders, at first I was thinking, when you look down at it, you're like, okay, it's a young football team. Well, then you look at the Raiders, what they have, it's they have probably more experience than any team in the league. So they added a ton of free agents and all that. It's almost like a who's who. They're all those names are recognizable. But with that being said, we can't wait to get this thing kicked off for real and ready to prove it to ourselves as well as doubters out there that we think we're a pretty good football team.
You're right. Ton of experience, Rec, except at the quarterback position. So when you're planning a defense, do you think that there are certain things you can get away with because it's a kid making his first start in the NFL?
I think the big thing is you try to make it a little cloudy on them, so to speak, where it's you run different coverages than he's probably seen, different blitzes and all that stuff. But you want him to be a little confused out there. Now, with that being said, there's things that they can do offensively. Obviously, run the football is something they're going to obviously try to establish, and then just 2-3 man routes where you just take it back and throw it. So. Throw it up there, and we know that's coming too. So, again, it's we attack him like any other quarterback. I just think that sometimes with younger quarterbacks, less experienced quarterbacks, it probably looks a little, maybe a little more than to a veteran type quarterback.
All right, now, Rex, this might embarrass you a little bit, but I'll say it anyway. All football people that I talk to that we have on the show consider you a defensive genius, that you know schemes, you know how to get things done better than most people. But everything I've ever heard before this season, Rex, is that everything that Rex does defensively is predicated on having shutdown corners. Now, you're not going to say anything bad about Darren Walls and Antonio Allen. They ain't shutdown corners. So what exactly are you going to change without a shutdown corner?
Well, again, I think when you look at it, those are two pretty good football players, and we're certainly confident in them, and we'll get to prove it. But what you look at is when you're putting defenses together and all that, you focus on the 11 guys that you have. You weigh the strengths and the weaknesses of what you have, and then you adjust your plan accordingly. But again, one thing, I believe in both those young men, and I think they're going to show well this week.
Do you still believe you can leave them one-on-one and do some of the blitzing with the 7 guys up front?
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay.
I mean, you don't just no. With that being said, it's not as simple as, hey, these guys are going to blitz every snap. That's not what we do. We'll be multiple in our coverages. We'll be multiple in our pressures, and we'll see at the end of the day. And again, it's hard to play in this league. There's going to be one-on-one opportunities, that they're going to have down the field. And the one thing I know about, both these guys, we're going to compete, and there is no doubt. And Antonio Allen's got as good a ball skills as almost any corner I've been around. So again, if it's some jump balls that they want, then I feel pretty good about our guys.
All right, let's go to the other side of the ball. Did Geno show more to you in preseason than you thought you were going to get?
Not more than I thought.
Okay.
But more than most
a lot of people
else,
did, yeah.
Because, I said from day one, I mean, Geno Smith, when he left last year, the last month of the season was not a by accident. He had the second highest quarterback rating in the entire National Football League over that span. So where he is right now, he just took off from where he left. He's got a great understanding of our offense. He knows what it takes, for us to win in this league, and that starts with protecting the football. And then the other thing is, it's not just his, the kid can throw the ball with anybody in this league, but it's also he knows when to take off with it, and he knows how to protect himself. So I think that those are some great things for us. I think his poise has improved probably more than anything in his game, his poise in the pocket. And, I just think we're going to see some big things from him, and I think so where he is, I wasn't surprised. I can tell you that much. But there are a lot of people out there who, the so-called experts had him picked 32nd in the league at quarterback. We'll see where it is when the season's over. Then re-rank it, run that same poll, and we'll see. There's going to be a big difference.
Now, you got three, I think, really good running backs, and it's going to be tough, I think, to even improve on how good you were running the football last year. But is the difference maker the fact that Johnson is someone that can be explosive and actually have a 60 or 70-yard touchdown run? Is that the biggest difference between the running game last year and this year?
I think we can. I think having three fresh backs at all time, those guys can do it. Whether it's hitting the ball, running the ball in between the tackles or bouncing it outside on the perimeter. And we have so much depth at that spot with three of them that I think that's going to be a big factor as well, keeping guys fresh. And the fact you mentioned with Chris Johnson, obviously he's got world-class speed. I mean, the fastest player in the history of the combine. And again, I don't know if he's at 4.2 speed or whatever he is, but he can still pick him up and put him down. So that is an element that very few teams have, is that one guy that once he gets behind you, you're not catching him.